take away the strength within you. Don't give up now, you've got to seize this moment. And what do you say when all the guilt has faded away? Will you give yourself a chance to say everything's gonna be okay? Can you see that there's not a thing that you can change? Forget the shame, stop taking the blame, and leave who you are behind. Who you are behind. Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Be who you are and don't get beat up for anyone. They can't take away the strength within you. Don't give up now, you've got to seize this moment. You've got to seize this moment. Find the strength within yourself. You've got to seize this Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Because that's how this game called life can be won. You've got all you need, it's right in front of you. The time is now and this is your moment. Just follow your own light and find your place in the sun. Be who you are, don't get beat up for anyone. They can't take away the strength within you. The time is now and this is your moment. To find your place in the sun.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Oh, and we are back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am so sorry about what happened. So basically what had happened and why we had that sudden, drop of service is that literally my internet just decided to say, fuck you, and stop working, even though, I'm hardwired into, my fucking modem. And nope. Said, fuck off, minx. Anyways, so had to get that all resituated and restarted, and the pain in my ass. Anyways, we are here with Dom. Oh wait, hold on. Before we get to Dom from Guardians of the Green Beret, real quick reminder: our virtual job fair, which was supposed to be tomorrow, is going to be on the 25th of July. So it's not tomorrow. It's 25th of July, and it's with Hire Our Heroes virtual job fair. So stay tuned because we are going to be posting updates as far as the potential employers and everyone who is going to be part of this job fair, and it's going to be a really awesome experience. So without further ado, we are going to talk to Dom. Dom, hello, welcome back to the show.
All right, I am so glad to be back with you guys. It's a pleasure and an honor to be back with you guys.
Thank you. No, the honor is all ours. So all right. So for those of us in our audience who happened to miss your show the last time, what exactly is Guardians of the Green Beret?
Okay, well, again, Guardians of the Green Beret is a website that when we first started out, our initial objective is to have a place where people could go and bring possible suspected posers or people posing as Green Berets to us so we could investigate and obviously continue on and find out, make sure that they were posers.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, obviously, we are up now over 100 posers, and since we last were on the air with you, we were at about 3,500, and now we're up to 7,000 followers, and we've exposed probably over 100 posers. So that was our basic mission.
Nice. That's awesome that you guys have almost doubled your following.
You have, and I tell you, you guys did it was a great service that you guys did to us that helped us out a lot. We had a big uptick when we were on with you guys the last time, and it continues to grow every day. Our Facebook page continues to grow, as does our website.
That's awesome. So you said that you guys have busted, 100 dudes claiming to be Green Berets. So tell us about that. Like, how do you go about doing that?
Well, it's a process. One of the things I want to say is that we when we receive a possible claim, we immediately obviously start the process. The first thing we do is we reach out to 5,500 members of the Special Forces Brothers. Special Forces Brothers is a locked or secret Facebook page that actually has more than 5,500 Special Forces qualified members, and you have to be Special Forces qualified or a Green Beret to be in this Facebook page. We have members that go all the way back to the 60s. So if you're a poser to be somebody that was a Green Beret in the 60s, we're going to find out. So we start there with our Facebook page. We reach out to 5,500 individuals, and I'm telling you, within 15 minutes, we can pretty much tell if you're for real or not. Then from there, obviously, we reach out to more official channels. We go to MPRC and other organizations that help us actually get the true records on this. So it doesn't take us long to find out if you actually were a Green Beret or not.
Okay. Awesome. Are you guys working on any cases currently?
Oh, we are. Oh, man. So that's tonight. We wanted to bring you our two top posers for the last couple of months. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to start. If you're okay, we're going to start with Gilbert Renault, aka Tim Gibson, which is his real name. This is kind of an interesting character, and one of our top posers right now, because we are still in the process of helping out the individual that was totally scammed by this turd.
Really?
So Minx, let me tell you, have you ever thought you knew someone and you found out you didn't? Okay. It's just mind-boggling. This happened to a woman who was very patriotic and believed she could actually help this disabled vet who he also claimed he was a Green Beret. This woman went as far as to finance the startup of a company that specialized in military apparel and tactical equipment, all geared towards Special Forces. At the time, she was living on the East Coast, but decided to lease a home in Colorado to spend more time supporting him and running the business. During this time, this venture started in 2016, sometime in 2016. But then, that's about when her world came crashing down around February of 2018, when she realized that Gilbert Renault, a.k.a. Tim Gibson, was a fraud and also is a Green Beret poser. Then that's when she actually contacted the Green Beret Foundation, another one of our organizations that supports us. Then the Green Beret Foundation sent her over to us at Guardians of the Green Beret. We began our process of exposing this piece of shit. I don't know how else to put it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
but
he's
we
a
at
total douchebag.
Yeah, it's beyond a total douchebag. We at the Green Beret, Guardians of the Green Beret, discovered that he was never in the military and actually stole $100,000 of seed money to start up this to start up the company. We knew within 15 minutes that he was a fraud. Literally 15 minutes upon receiving her email on Guardians of the Green Beret, we knew he was a fraud.
So like, what is the process now? Like, do we now take like legal action against him for everything that he's done to this woman, or do we do like super top secret squirrel stuff and find like an abandoned mine shaft in a desert somewhere and just say, he got lost?
No. So again, the first thing we did is we reached out to our 5,500 members in SF Brothers, and understand we have to be very careful before we post anything on our website, because we have to be 100% sure. I mean, it's our our credibility can never be but 100% beyond reproach. Yeah. So we have to be very careful on this. But in 15 minutes, we found out that by asking our 5,500 members, we used both names. We used Gilbert Renault and Tim Gibson. Nobody's ever heard of him. We put out the ODA, the Operation Attachment that he was on, the time frame that he was in the service. I mean, we asked every question you could, and again, probably over 200 members of Special Forces Brother never heard of him. So now, obviously, this started the process of actually requesting his records through the MPRC and the Freedom of Information Act. And the whole time, this poor woman was, she was just amazed that there was so much that she didn't know about this individual. Okay?
Yeah.
So now, where we're at now with him is that he actually, once he figured out he was actually busted out or found out, he decided to split. He went on the run. Well, during that time frame, the authorities of the law enforcement agencies were notified through channels, and they finally caught up with him at a hotel, and they actually threw a flashbang under his car to apprehend him. So he has never seen the light of day since that day.
Oh,
so he is now in custody. Yeah, this turd is in custody, and they're actually considering bringing him up on federal firearms charges.
Oh, that's amazing. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean, the links that this guy went to pose as not just a Green Beret, but as an actually disabled vet claiming PTSD and TBI is amazing. His own mother even said every time he opens his mouth, it's a lie. So that's pretty bad when your own mother doesn't believe you.
Right. When your own mom is like, nah, he's a lying dick. Like.
Yeah. Yeah. So so she is, this woman is absolutely just, relieved that now that this lie is over and she's now, obviously being able to get it started, go on with her life.
Yeah.
She's become a great supporter of Guardians of the Green Beret. And she, I mean, this is important because, again, if the people that are listening, if something like this happens or it doesn't smell right, again, contact us, www.guardiansofthegreenberet.com, and send us an email. And, I mean, we'll jump right on it and get started because we saved this woman. I mean, she was headed down a road that maybe she could never dig herself out of. Now she's able to actually, obviously sell, work the company where she can get back what she lost and have some peace in her life now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even imagine. Oh.
I mean, it's amazing that the individuals like this will go, the lengths they will go to, to take somebody's kindness and patriotic feeling towards the military. I mean, he claimed one evening he was going to commit suicide, that his service dog died in his arms. I mean, there were so many lies. I don't even know how he kept them straight. I just it's mind-boggling to me.
Fucking, I don't even want to speculate, like at all. So you said you had two. So what's the second one?
The second one the second one that we have been showcasing is an individual by the name of Charles Kaufman. This is another individual that's very interesting. And again, you can go to our website and you can read about Charles Kaufman on there. He's showcased in one of our top 10 zeros. And I just want to back up and talk a little bit about the website.
Oh,
The
yeah.
website, when we first started out the website, Minx, we only had posers on there, and it was a lot of negativity, and not a lot of people want to, they go on there and the stories are great to read, and there's so many stories on there, so many, and these are absolutely vetted, 100% true stories of posers. But we also decided to one day we said, why don't we actually showcase not just the zeros, but also the true heroes of the Green Beret. So we did that. So when you go onto our website, you see heroes and zeros on the website, and you can read you can also read about the heroes, which is amazing because there's these are the true heroes within our regiment of the Special Forces regiment. But on the other side there, Charles Kaufman, he's one of our top 10 posers. And this cat's he's a unique individual. Last time we talked, I alluded a lot to the fact that a lot of these posers use their lies and sometimes even their creative means to get jobs within the special operations community, contracting wise. Okay. Well, Charles Kaufman was interesting because he actually was in the military, but as he was transitioning, from one unit and out to another, he actually had talked a clerk into altering his official military records. So this was a very tough case for us because his actual records that came back showed that he did have all this bling that he supposedly said. Yeah, so this is interesting. This cat was really good at working the system. So when he actually transitioned, his DD-214 and his records showed that he had all this stuff, but something wasn't there. Something wasn't right. Well, he came to us about 3 years ago, and when we did the first investigation, we found out, hey, there's something there. He's got everything he says he does, but does he? Well, then he popped up again, and then we actually realized that he actually talked to a clerk into physically altering his records to show that he was supposed a Green Beret with all these badges and all these badges and awards and ribbons. So it was amazing. It was a tough one for this guy. This individual actually used his falsified records to get jobs. I mean, high-paying contracting jobs that only really accepts special operations operators like special forces or other types, and he actually was hired by these companies on a falsified document. So
how are you guys able to prove, like, was it just from the networking, like the Facebook page, and how none of the other Green Berets had ever heard of him? Like, no, I never served with this dude. Is that pretty much the only way that you found out that he wasn't legit?
Well, it wasn't the only way. It was interesting. This one was, like I say again, I go back to this one was interesting because he came to us, like I said, 3 years ago, and it seemed like he had everything he did, but then all of a sudden he popped up recently, and something didn't smell right. So we did reach out to our members on SF Brothers, and then that started the whole process of when he said he was in on a special forces team from a certain time to a certain time, we started asking the group, hey, do you know this guy during this time and this time during this team and this place? And of course it was like, nope, never heard of him. And then as soon as that started the chain, obviously then we knew that we had a poser. Now then that's when we reached out and we actually got another copy of his records through MPRC and found out that he wasn't who he said he was. And this one's great because when we call up a poser and bust him out, we usually get a fuck you or you don't have that right, or they have some type of excuse of, no, I was special forces, or I wanted to be, or no, I am, and we would get a lot of pushback. But this cat actually collapsed like right there. I mean, he caved in right there. I mean, he said when he was called up, his words were "living the lie." No joke. That was his actual comeback to our investigator when he said that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was. We've never had a poser cave that fast. Usually, we have to fight them on it or explain to them that you are going on our website. You are a poser. We know about you. We're going to expose you.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Do what you want, but you're busted. So.
Yeah. Great Cloud.
And
oh, sorry.
Yeah, and he like I said, he caved, and this is now. I won't give any credit to this individual. I have no remorse for him at all. But he immediately, once he was busted, he actually immediately sent us all his bling, his Green Beret, all his patches, his ribbons. He actually sent them to our investigator in the mail. I mean, we actually have the actual physical items of it. The physical items that he used. He also told our investigator that he was going to cover up his tattoos. I mean, so this guy must have been living the lie and feeling so bad about it. And he was just wanting. I felt like he wanted to get busted out. He just wanted to stop living the lie. But you know what? I'm sorry about that. Fuck you, because the way I look at it is that you took a job away from a true operator that could have benefited from a contract when you weren't even remotely qualified to do this.
Mm-hmm. Great Cloud.
Yes. So now my question for you is, how much work, there's a lot of work and a lot of resource-intensive digging that goes in this. How much work or partnership do you do with Stolen Valor?
We very little. It depends on the investigator. We don't do a lot. We do more with the Green Beret Foundation. They're one of our top organizations that we work with. Honestly, we deal a lot directly with the SF Brothers on the Facebook page. That's where we start, and then we actually go into official channels after that, once we've actually decided that, yeah, this guy is a poser. So Green Beret Foundation is a huge supporter of us and what we do. And then we go to usually official channels by that. We also use a lot of law enforcement, law enforcement, individuals and, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, I gotcha. So staying on that line of research and whatnot, if you have it, the statistics in front of you, or if you can just pull them out, what percentage are actual prior service guys that are claiming this compared to the percentage that have never served at all?
That's you know what, I don't actually have the true percentage, but this is where it's mind-boggling, is that a lot of the percentage have served in the military. They actually have served honorably in the military, and for some reason they feel that being a Green Beret or Special Forces is going to raise them up a notch. We had one individual that we exposed that was a Vietnam vet a artilleryman, and this guy actually had a Bronze Star with a V device. He had Purple Hearts. He served in hot zones in Vietnam. I mean, in my book, he was a hero. He didn't have to lie. He didn't have to pose. So I would say a very large percentage, I don't have the actual numbers for you, but a large percentage are prior service. That's why we have to be very careful on our investigation as to call them out. If you go on our website and you go down and as you look, we actually list what is true and what is false. I don't know if you guys are looking at the website now, but if they have something, we actually posted that they do have that. So we give them credit for what credit they have, but why they go beyond this, I don't know. And especially now, like I said, we are growing every day. And again, if any of your listeners are out there thinking of opposing, like I said last time, you'll get exposed. We'll find you and we'll expose you openly. And last time I think I was talking, I said that we don't have black helicopters yet, but we're working on it.
So I take it you're still working on getting black helicopters?
Yeah, we want the black helicopters. Last time we talked about it, I said we don't show up at the front door and knock on, we don't land up with a black helicopter in front of your house and knock on your door. But we're trying to work with different companies to see if we can actually get one. Okay, that's a joke, but it'd be a nice thing to dream, though.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. So here,
wouldn't it be?
So staying on this arc here. Has there been a case study done on why? I guess I'd be more interested in the case study on why prior service guys do this, especially if they have a good career, right? Nothing shady in their career. They're honorably discharged. They served with distinction and honor. Is there a case study, or is that something that's being considered to actually look into this and do additional research on what drives these individuals to do that?
That is an excellent question, and I'll tell you. We've asked that question many times of ourselves, and here's a couple of reasons what we've come up with, at least during our discussions amongst the investigators. An individual, I would say that over the last 15 years plus, the global war on terror, a lot of exposure has been put on special operations, whether it be the Green Berets or Special Forces, the Navy SEALs, the Air Force PJs, or anything that has a special operations tag to it, or a special forces tag to it. People have to understand that there's only one true special forces in all of the services, and that's the U.S. Army Green Berets. So I just have to make that point clear right now. All right, U.S. Navy SEALs are not Green Berets; they're U.S. Navy Spec Warfare. So sorry, I had to throw that in there. But what we found is that we had an individual running for office down in Florida, and he felt that it would look better on his resume to say that he was a special forces or a Green Beret. So I think they actually use they actually pose to actually raise, for some reason they feel it's going to raise their, raise their stature to get these positions, whether it be government positions, which they have, or in the case of Charles Kaufman, he used this absolutely to get high-paying contractor jobs within the special operations community. Once his boss found out that he was immediately fired, by the way. I didn't bring that up. So we believe that that's one reason. The other reason is that they, would you want to go to a school where they teach you how to shoot or hand-to-hand combat or whatever from a truck driver, and I'm a an Army truck driver, and I'm not dinging on the support side of it. What I'm saying is that you look better if you're a Special Forces Green Beret or one of the special operators. Come to my class because I've done this. So we found out that one, we feel it's to raise the stature for either some type of office or job, or two, there's companies all over the country popping up that are, special shooter schools, special fighting schools. I can go on in the list. So we really believe that that's partly the big reason.
Gotcha. And obviously we've seen that in recent politics, as we were talking about, dropped. The connection is that Senator Elizabeth Warren and all the controversy that surrounds her and her claim of being Native American heritage.
Right.
So, I mean, it runs the calling out something unique and special that not everybody has. You can almost draw that parallel on it helping to advance your career.
Right. I'll tell you, in a time of fake media and social media, honest people like this woman that was taking for over $100,000. I mean, I only gave you a small number. There was so much more done. They have to have somebody they go to they can trust. I mean, this, just like your station, they actually are hearing the ground truth, and the ground truth is important. So when individuals go to our website, Guardians of the Green Beret, or on our Facebook page, they're not getting bullshit. They're getting the ground truth, and that's what that's what we need out there. We do this. Our investigators we're not paid. Okay, we don't ask for anything. We don't ask for donations. We do this on our own time because 5,500 guys plus that are in our Special Forces brothers have gone through and have blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, it makes us sick. I don't know how else to say it. It makes us sick and it makes us angry. And I wish there was a way you guys could actually see what goes on in our room. Obviously, you won't be able to, but I can tell you that it's when a poser is found, it's like 5,500 vultures ready to stomp because we're so tired of the fake the fake bullshit that goes on out there in day-to-day society.
Yeah.
So, I guess as we're So going back to the one gentleman who actually, kind of repented and mailed all that garbage back and said he's going to cover up his tattoos and whatnot. How many that you've outed have actually seem to have full-blown remorse?
We've had, again, I'd have to go back and honestly look, but I know of at least 3 that I actually had full-blown remorse. And again, great. I'm glad that they were sorry what they did. I have no remorse for them. I don't, because they lied and cheated people out of their money, time, and resources. But I can tell you right now, I know of 3. I know of one individual that had a shooting business, a shooting school and a business that actually had to shut down his business because of this. So, like I said, I don't know the exact number, to be quite honest with you, but I can tell you at least 3, and there's probably more.
Okay.
But again, that doesn't fly with us. I mean, I know I sound a little hard, but I'm glad that you feel bad. But let me kind of just go on a little bit further with that. I'm sorry. Sometimes we feel like there's remorse, or that they are actually going to drop off and stop doing this. Well, we just had an individual pop up after 3 years. Now he's starting to shit again. So now we have to obviously go through the same process we did before by, pushing him back down in the mud where he belongs.
Right.
So it's a never-ending process sometimes.
Have you ever gotten a report on someone who turned out to actually be a Green Beret? Like, they thought he was posing, but it turns out he was an actual Green Beret?
Absolutely. And that's why we have to be very careful on what we do. Credibility, obviously, is the key to what we do. So, yes, we have. We've actually got reports of somebody that saying they were a Green Beret. And you got to understand, we have a lot of guys out there that are Green Berets from the '60s, and not dinging on the FOGs, the fucking old guys, or the very fucking old guys, as we call them, because I'm an FOG.
I was gonna say, are you one of them?
I'm an FOG kind of, okay. I gotta, but all seriousness, these guys, a lot of stuff, back in the earlier days, I say earlier days before my time, there was some weird stuff going on out there, weird units, guys were attached to it, and they don't really talk about it, but they may wear something. So yeah, we have gotten reports where they have said that they that we think this person is claiming, but I'm not joking. Within 15 minutes on our Facebook page, we can find out if they're legit or not. No joke. I mean, that's the first place we start before we actually start digging deeper and deeper into it. Because, I mean, I'm telling you, 5,500 plus members from early 1960s to current. I'm talking current day right now. We can find out if you're for real. So if they are real, then we just, obviously send a nice email back saying, nope, this guy's legit. Give him the respect, that he deserves, and carry on. So.
Right. So, as you were talking about, to hit on your point of the fake media and whatnot, the fake news that's out there and whatnot. And that's, and you see that on all these pages, they immediately want to call people out, right? Without doing any due diligence whatsoever on their own. Your thoughts on that, and then I'll share mine.
Yeah. Once again, everybody's, I feel it probably the same way you do. It's almost like a feeding frenzy. And it happens even in our page. It really does. It's happened once or twice where, we've had to pull the reins back. But, everybody's quick to want to commit, pretty much drop the hammer on somebody without doing their due diligence. So you said it right there. That's why it's so important for us to do our due diligence before we do this. So. Yeah.
So I'm on that page. I'm on that timeline. That same train of thought is like you said, due diligence and credibility are everything. Once your, like you said, for you guys, once your credibility is blown, it is almost impossible to restore it to where it was. With that being said, nation and those that are listening to us, if you have a question, contact those entities, i.e. Guardians of the Green Beret and whatnot, to report the information that you don't feel right about, okay? Let them do their jobs, because we've seen it. We've seen the articles, and Dom's alluded to it here, that it happens. And you know what? That can be crushing for a vet, especially if they're going through some shit.
Right. I mean, we could talk for hours on some of the stuff that we found, but I'll tell you, PTSD and TBI and some of the other, some of the other issues that vets are going through, a lot of these individuals are actually claiming something they don't have. So I want to tell you, and again, this is kind of off a little bit of topic, but I want to tell you, just because I'm in a fight with the VA myself, that when people lie to the VA and they lie about something they have, it makes it harder for the individuals that actually have, true, symptoms of what goes on. And they get, literally, I'm telling you, man, it takes sometimes years to get the help they need. And it's sad, but sometimes they don't receive the help they need. And then we hear about that. We hear about, I don't know how true it is, but we hear about 22 veterans taking their lives a day. Well, it might not be 22, but it's happening every day, because these liars and posers and bullshitters, some that have even been in the military, have claimed this, and they back up the system that is supposed to be there to help us as vets. And again, that's off topic what we're saying, but we see this in Guardians of the Green Beret. We have busted out posers that have actually received benefits for PTSD and TBI and other injuries and illnesses that they never had. So all you're doing is hurting the veterans that actually have that. The ones that are suffering day in and day out from whatever they're suffering from. You know what I'm saying? So
that's totally legit, because it was a couple of weeks ago. Nation, if you're listening, if you can find the article for me, drop it in the chat, I'd be appreciative of it. It was a couple of weeks ago that they busted some guy who had swindled the VA out of something like over $100,000 in benefits and payments.
What?
Yeah.
I missed that story.
Let me see if I can find it, because I thought that was holy shit.
I'll tell you, we actually, in our investigation, through the time, we actually found an individual that was never in the military that was able to falsify records to get into the VA to collect benefits. What do you think about that? Now, this is stuff that, obviously we don't post out there to the public, but, I mean, is that not crazy? I mean, never been in the military and is actually receiving benefits.
That's insane, because I have a friend who is a Purple Heart recipient who is not getting anything from the VA because, quote, the shrapnel left in his body is, they're like, how do we know this is service related? And he's like, I have a fucking Purple Heart because of this. And he's not getting a fucking dime from the VA. That's fucking insane.
God dang it.
Yeah. I will say this, and I'll even talk personally about it. During a VA visit, they don't call it post-traumatic stress, okay? They call it behavioral health. All right, so I have no fucking idea what the difference is between your behavioral health and your post-traumatic stress, but because so many people have claimed something that they don't have, or maybe they have. I mean, again, I'm not going to take away from the people that actually suffer from some of it, but honestly, the VA. Me personally, I sat in an interview for 3 hours, and into the second hour, we weren't even into my military service. We were still talking about my childhood. I mean, it was fucking disgusting. And they didn't even want to hear about any of my military service or anything that happened. All they wanted to hear was, how can we make sure that a lot of this is predisposed so we don't have to give you PTSD? I mean, right. It's horrible. It's because people have gone in there and lied and bullshitted them, and they know the system. I mean, there just was an article. I just read an article. I can't remember what it was that talks about this. It talks about the VA being swindled.
Yeah. All right. So the article I found is from 4 April. Okay. Man poses war hero to land job in Port St. Lucie, wherever, Florida. The Office of Inspector General for the Department of Veterans Affairs in investigating Edward Lyroff said police in a statement Friday. Police arrested Lyroff Tuesday on multiple forgery and fraud charges. Lyroff never served, according to police, who said he used a fake government document to get at least 6 years of free treatment at the VA and group counseling for PTSD.
That's disgusting. That makes me sick. When I have brothers out there, Special Forces brothers, that can't even. It takes them 2 years to even get an interview, a proper interview. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. We actually are working through a process. We're actually going outside of the VA, where we're having to go to civilian referrals to get the actual care we need. And, can you blame the VA in part of that? Well, yeah, we can, because they're understaffed. But they've also been swindled, just like this individual. So, and then again, that's why we do what we do on the Guardians of the Green Beret side too. I mean, it goes a lot deeper than just outing an individual that claims that they're a Green Beret. Like I said, we have found these posers to actually have collected benefits for something that they didn't have, or operations that they were on where they got injured where they weren't. I mean, it's crazy.
No, and it's just terrible. I mean, I did I'm trying to look for, I was trying to look for that article and stuff, and it's amazing that how this stuff comes up, and there are tips on how to scam the VA. What?
Yeah.
Why would that even be out there? Oh my God, that blows my mind. How to scam the VA?
I mean, I know an easy way for guys to do it. That's an automatic 10%. Females can't do it. Males can do it, but females can't.
That sounds so weird.
Yeah. Seriously.
It's
claim ED.
Yeah.
They can't disprove it. Automatic 10%.
Yeah. Well, I think honestly, again, getting off the topic, but honestly, once you actually put in for a comps and benefit type thing, if they actually have your records. Now, again, those records can be altered. We know that by Mr. Kaufman. okay? But you're pretty much going to get 10% automatically if you've been in any type of combat situation or combat zone. So whether it's male, I know females that were in Iraq in the Air Force that were 6 stories underground, and it's not just females, it's also males. So don't take this wrong. It's both that were claiming PTSD because they were mortared, and the mortar wasn't even going to. There was no danger. But again, I'm not an expert on PTSD. I just know that there's people out there suffering from it that are having to go through the hell of trying to get the benefits for it because of the people that have gone in there and lied about it. How to scam the VA. That's really good. I think that, we probably should find that person and send a black helicopter there and talk to him.
Yeah.
So.
That would be fucking awesome. All of a sudden, like in their little fucking subdivision, you just see like 3 choppers rolling down and like guys rappelling down and shit, busting through doors and windows. Yes. Oh my God. Take like video cameras and like a TV crew with you so that way it can be broadcasted and like put the word out like, hey, don't fuck around.
Right. So I found an article.
Yeah,
I don't have the date, but the article's from Spokane. A man has pleaded guilty in a $1.5 million disability fraud case. I knew it was a large amount of money.
Wow. That's staggering. Absolutely staggering. So I just want to I just want to get back to you were talking about how credibility and credibility is key, and obviously during our investigation, our websites when we post something, we can only be as good as the records we receive, but we go through different organizations. So it's not. I want to be clear that we just don't go through one organization. We go through, obviously the NPRC, Freedom of Information Act. We go through organizations within the military, especially if you say we're Special Forces. We can reach out to the Special Forces Command. We can reach out to a lot of different organizations. But I just want to bring to light, if you go on our website, and if the individual, you'll have a picture of the individual wearing all these badges and all these patches, you'll notice as we go down there, we actually list out what he has, or she, obviously there's no she's, but what he has on there. And if you look at our website, it's, basically you'll see the badge, like a parachutist badge, false, no record. Pathfinder badge, false, no record. Special Forces tab, false, no record. We actually go down and say each one what they are. And like this individual, Charles Kaufman, he says he has a Bronze Star with a V, no record. ARCOM, no record. But he did get an Army Achievement Medal. He did get, and he's got the NCOPD award. He's got an overseas ribbon. This cat probably served in a combat zone. It actually shows Purple Heart. We actually say possible because he very well could have a Purple Heart. Non-combat related injury in the combat zone of 2004. We do our due diligence. So the listeners out there, send us what you have if you have something. If something doesn't smell right, send it. And we'll act on it. This is, we've got investigators that are doing this every day, all day, day in and day out. So it's not something that we take lightly. And we take our credibility, very seriously. We really do. And the other thing is that we're not just backed up, we're backed up by official records, but the vetting, the best vetting process we have is other Special Forces qualified guys on our Facebook page. And I say on our Facebook page, we actually we go beyond that. A lot of us keep in touch. It's an amazing brotherhood. It really is. So again, I just want to come back to just how much due diligence we do to expose these posers. So if you're out there and you have you're either you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or something doesn't seem right, send it to us. Go on our website, go on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page, Guardians of the Green Beret, is a public page, but by all means, bring it to us.
And Nation, if you if you're listening, it's a lot of great information, and there's a lot of good story. Going back to the heroes piece of it, there's a lot of great stories. The ones that you really only hear on the AFN stations. And that's really sad to say, but there's a lot of good real stories out there on these guys that actually earn their shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, Nation, if you're listening, and if you got questions, send these guys questions. It's they'll know. I mean, they'll know. He said 15 minutes. That's a hell of a network. I mean,
it's sometimes even faster than that. I give us 15 minutes. We try to do it around 5. No, that's not true. We actually do our due diligence, and I really appreciate you bringing up the fact that we do on our website now. We do showcase the heroes. Tonight, I just wanted to we had a hard time saying, well, which hero do we want to talk about? Because we could talk for hours on every one of them because they're amazing. As far as I'm concerned, everybody or anybody that's ever served in the armed forces is a hero. They really are. Obviously, individuals like that we have on our website that we call heroes, they went above and beyond, the call of duty. But I think that every day our veterans out there, especially the ones that deployed, guys and girls, be safe out there. We remember all that they're deployed at this time. But, please go on there. I mean, we were going to showcase one tonight, Bob Howard. Colonel Howard, he's one of our most decorated Special Forces Green Berets. Please go on the website. Read about this man. Read about what he did and how many and what he did to receive the nation's highest honor. And this guy didn't just he received the Medal of Honor, he received the Distinguished Service Cross, a Silver Star, a Bronze Star with a V, Purple Heart with a silver and 2 bronze oak leaf clusters. If you guys know what that means, he was shot up a bunch of times. I mean, this cat just, when you look at what he's got and what he's earned, and he doesn't, I doubt he gave a shit about what he wears on his chest either. Just the fact of, being part of a brotherhood of Green Berets and Special Forces was probably his highest honor. But, this is why we do this, because when you put this guy next to a fucktard like Charles Kaufman, that's why we do this.
I love that term. No,
Fucktard.
That's why I like you. I love you guys because we can be open,
Yeah.
But like I said, there's, we want to show the good with the bad, and we really do. And I think we're doing a great job. And we love you guys at the WTF Radio. I can guarantee after this we'll probably get another 2,000 followers, and it continues to grow. It really does every day.
That's awesome. We're so happy for you guys. And so what is next for Guardians of the Green Beret?
Okay. Well, here's we're going to continue to do what we do. Obviously, we're actually going to try to. This is kind of hard. We're actually going to try to showcase as many heroes as we do zeros. Believe it or not, there's more zeros than there are heroes. So that's one thing we're going to do. But just yesterday, we actually posted on the website the first husband and wife team. All right, and this is something new to us because we have never brought in other members of the individual's family or extended family into the mix of exposing a poser. But this one's unique, and I'd go on there and read this one because this is brand new. We just put it on there yesterday. They are actually a husband and wife team, and actually the wife is super enabler. She's actually in this game to help him pose and obviously continue with his lie. So this is the first time we've done that. We've never actually had anything like this come up. So we don't know how much more of this is going on out there, but they're a husband and wife team, and this is, like I said, the first time we actually put them on the website because we did our due diligence and found out that yes, she was part of this dynamic duo or duo as we call it. So we're our position is expanding now out there. How many more how much more of this is going on? That's what I say. That's what's next. We have so much work right now just with what we have going on. I couldn't tell you the accurate number of active cases we have, but it's a lot. I mean, we're having a problem trying to keep up with the heroes to match the number of zeros. So,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, real heroes don't advertise themselves.
Nope. We always said that anybody that comes up to you and the first words out of their mouth was, I was a Green Beret, you probably should start questioning it. You guys tell the story there. I do want to say that I did receive a Facebook message from the individual that we talked about, the individual that was scammed from the first poster we talked about, and she just is so thankful. And she's listening tonight, and that's what's important is we got to get out there. We got to network because, for every one that we expose, there's probably two out there that are still doing what they're doing. So we're going to expand. We're going to continue. We'll probably bring on more investigators to pick up the load, and we'll continue to reach out because, like you said, Gregory, we're tired of the fake news. We're tired of the bullshit. And, at least in our little world, we can make it right.
Yeah. Well, Dom, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be going on break here very, very soon, or actually now. But Dom, thank you so much for coming back on and telling us what you guys have been up to over at Guardians of the Green Beret.
Well, thank you. And again, I hope to come back on at a later date. You guys help us out and keep up what you're doing, and we'll keep up what we're doing, and we'll stay in touch.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you guys, hang on tight, and we shall be back here in a couple minutes. Shots.
Tennessee. Days on the farm, it just comes naturally. Daylight to dark is not for the typical man. Just a backwoods country boy, proud of who I am. Proud of who I am. Proud of who I am. Well, this is my rifle, this is my gun. Let's get 'em, boys, come on and get you some. Let's get you some. And I'll fire all my rounds down range till the enemy hits the sand. Yes, sir, I knew exactly what I was doing when I swore to Uncle Sam. If you don't like the way I'm living, just remember that it's for you. I'm a redneck camel wearing son of a gun for the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Pack my bags, headed out to the big sandbox. Just some good old boys and me, some made it some night. Well, the price of freedom, son, it don't come free. I guess that's why the good Lord chose me. This here's my rifle, this here's my gun. Let's get 'em, boys, come on and get you some. Let's get you some. And I'll fire all my rounds down range till the enemy hits the sand. Yes, sir, I knew exactly what I was doing when I swore to Uncle Sam. If you don't like the way I'm living, just remember that it's for you. I'm a redneck camel wearing son of a gun. I'm a redneck camel wearing son of a gun for the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. We do it for you, 'cause that's what we do.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Eyes give away the shame inside of all the guilt we try to hide. And I no longer have the will to drive. All these promises were lies. And I will never give into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it will die and bring an ending to this goddamn lie. I'm already giving up on you, but never giving up on me. The flies eat away at every day that's lost and left to rot away. In your eyes, leave trails of panting emptiness. Your feelings for me will digress. And I will never give into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it will die and bring an ending to this goddamn lie. I've already given up on you. into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it will die and bring an ending to this goddamn lie. I've already given up on you, but never giving up on me. Just walking on shells, this feeling that love conquers everything else, until you reach the point in mind. There was a failure to communicate, so set to leave but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end it's over, I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. My only demon, my only regret is that I left you with scars so that you'll never forget. Sick of forgiving my mistakes and my faults. Shattered your glass heart to millions when I ripped it apart. There's nothing left. Love is gone. So there was a failure to communicate, so set to leave but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end it's over, I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end it's over, I'm finally sober. I'm finally sober. There was a failure to communicate, so set to leave but we were forced to wait. Nobody said we had to relate. At the end it's over, I'm finally sober.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Welcome back, everyone, for the third and final hour of Tied Up Tuesday. I'm your host, Meeks. I'm joined with Gray Cloud. We can't see.
It's terrible. It's terrible. We're depriving the nation of awesomeness.
Driving the nation of Gray Cloud.
I know, and my Scotch collection behind me, as always.
I know. Whatever will we do?
Wait till next week, hopefully.
Right? Hopefully I can have everything figured out by then.
Yeah, if not, we'll just wing it again.
Right? Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We're pretty good at that.
Right? Yeah, I think so too. So there's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to get to in the first hour, but because my internet decided to say fuck you,
We didn't get to it.
So former President Bush is in the ICU.
Yes, he is.
Like 41, not 43.
Right.
He's in the ICU. He was admitted into the ICU the day after his wife's funeral.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to last very long without her.
No, and you could have called that, and you saw a lot of it that being kicked around already when Barbara passed. Is that the question was, well, how much longer before George H.W. Bush passes? And I wouldn't think it'd be more than a month before he passed away. That's everything he knew.
What is that noise? Do you hear it?
Yeah, it sounds like a fan. Some kind of backfeed. Backfeed. Fuck.
But it's only when you talk.
Is it me talking?
Yeah.
So me talking is the noise?
You're a noise.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Anyways, it's really annoying though. But no, okay, so apparently former President Bush is in the hospital. He's hospitalized with an infection. He's septic. Which means whatever it is that's infected has spread to his bloodstream.
Right.
Yeah. So they're not saying, family spokesperson is not saying what the infection is caused from. HIPAA. But a lot of times the main causes of sepsis would be something like pneumonia or kidney stone or UTI. So it worsens and then it spreads to the bloodstream. So
his age, it could literally be anything based on his age alone. But you saw this, and the closest parallel I can draw to this when Joe Paterno passed, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, all he lived for was coaching Penn State at that point in time. That's what he knew. That's what he loved. That was his passion. And he was probably going to die on that field coaching the team. The whole Jerry Sandusky thing broke and all that stuff, and they removed him from coaching. And he died shortly thereafter being removed from coaching.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, and you could almost call it when she passed that he would not probably last much longer than that.
And I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense. They've literally spent their entire lives together.
Yep.
You know, they were married for 73 years.
It's literally a lifetime. I mean,
So, you know, and they were literally the only other, like, you know, they didn't see anyone else really, like, I don't think either of them had any other sort of like serious significant other besides each other.
yeah, no, I agree.
So,
It's crushing to watch. You know,
yeah.
you saw those comments immediately come up. You know, after her passing, like, you know, what does this mean for him? How much long? You know, and it really became like, what could be next?
Yeah. Like, and it was total, like, honestly, it was a total, like, Notebook moment where you're kind of like, you kind of hope they both passed at the same time because you didn't want like, one to outlive the other because you knew, like, that would just suck.
Yeah,
So,
it's yeah, it's shitty.
yeah. But apparently, former President Bush is responding well to treatments. So, but yeah, that's all we've got for him right now.
Yep. Well, wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, definitely. Another article that I wanted to get to that we did not. Do you remember the show Smallville?
I remember the show. I never watched it.
I never watched it either. Well, apparently there's an actress who used to be on Smallville who is in a lot of trouble. So actress Allison Mack was arrested on Friday for alleged sex cult involvement.
Involvement?
Involvement.
No,
yeah.
I thought you were in it.
I don't know. But apparently banging people now is against the law. No, but I mean, I'm sure I haven't read the full article, so I'm sure there's like a reason why she got like, you know. Here we go. It's in the first sentence. All right, so Smallville actress Allison Mack was arraigned on Friday at a federal courthouse in New York following her arrest on sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit forced labor charges as part of an alleged sex cult. There we go. That's why she was arrested. Sex trafficking is wrong. It's frowned upon in literally all societies.
Well, yes. Trafficking is bad.
Yes. So it goes on to say the 35-year-old was last seen in March running after purported cult leader Keith Raniere as police hauled him away from a $10,000 a week Mexican villa where the pair had reportedly been hiding out. Quote, I have no comment on the arrest this afternoon of Allison Mack, a rep of the Star told Fox News. But the New York Post reported that Mack pleaded not guilty. Raniere, the co-founder of the self-help organization and alleged cult NXIVM, stands accused of keeping numerous women as slaves and branding his initials into their skin. Like, I'm into a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Branding is not one of them.
That's pretty intense.
That's a hard no for me. That's a hard no. Like, no.
Yeah, that's a little intense there.
Yeah. So he apparently Raniere was arraigned last week on the same charges as Mack and was denied bail as he awaits his next court appearance on April 27th. Mack appeared in Smallville, a TV series about a young Clark Kent from 2001 to 2011 before dedicating her life. Holy shit, she dedicated her life to NXIVM and Raniere. Quote, as alleged in the indictment, Allison Mack recruited women to join what was purported to be a female mentorship group that was, in fact, created and led by Keith Raniere. U.S. Attorney Richard P. Donahue said in a statement, Quote, the victims were then exploited both sexually and for their labor to the defendant's benefit. According to NXIVM, like, I want to know what those letters stand for. NXIVM's former publicist, they have a publicist, Frank Parrott. I don't fucking know how to say this name. Frank Parrott. Mac came up with the idea of a secret society of women within the organization who would be branded near their groin area. She was the principal recruiter of young slaves for Rainier, Parrott told Fox News on Friday. They nicknamed her Pimp Mac. Mac's fellow Smallville co-star, Kristen Pruitt, right? I don't know. Was also accused of helping to recruit women as sex slaves to NXIVM. She has denied the allegations. The 35-year-old said in a statement posted to Twitter in March that she took NXIVM course when she was 23 to help battle her shyness, but left the group about 5 years ago. When I was about, she's quoted as saying, when I was about 23, I took an executive success program's NXIVM intensive. What I understood to be a self-help personal growth course that helped me handle my previous shyness, which is why I continued with the program, Keurig wrote. I left about 5 years ago and had minimal contact with those who are still involved. The actress denied she had any influence within the group and was not involved in its dominus. Oh goodness, it's Latin. I know the first word, so it's dominus. Obsquecious. I don't know. Sorium or DOS, which literally translates from Latin to master over the slave women. Interesting. The accusations that I was in the inner circle or recruited women as sex slaves are blatantly false, Keurig said. During my time, I would never experienced any illegal or nefarious activity. Well, of course you would say that. I am horrified and disgusted by what came about DOS.
Wow.
Yeah,
So, go ahead, you first.
So basically, Rainier is accused of masterminding and overseeing a system in which women were told the best way to advance was to become a slave overseen by masters. They were expected to have sex with him, do menial chores for masters, and to keep the arrangement a secret or face public humiliation, the criminal complaint against him states. Investigators said Rainier preferred exceptionally thin women, so slaves had to stick to very low-calorie diets and document every food they ate. Women who did not follow orders were required to attend classes where they were forced to wear fake cow udders under their breasts while people called them derogatory names or threatened with being put in cages, court papers say. He needs to be held accountable for every woman and every underage girl that he has harmed, Catherine Oxenberg told Fox News. This is a long time coming. Oxenberg, an actress known for her role in the 1980s primetime drama Dynasty, has a daughter, India, who is currently in NXIVM. Yeah. Like, again, I'm into a lot of shit. Not the whole master-slave thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff in, like, the BDSM community that I'm like, yeah, cool. I can get down with that. Master-slave dynamic? No. I'm nobody's fucking slave. No.
It's really interesting that this, for however long this has been going on, right? That it's just now coming to light. All this shit is coming to light that's fucking unreal, right? And where is it happening? Fucking Hollywood.
Right? Weird.
Amazing.
Oh, best stepdad ever. NXIVM. Oh, well, it's in Russian. Is a multi-level marketing organization that offers personal and professional development seminars.
Personal and professional development.
Right. Seminars.
To show you how to develop.
Is founded in 1998. Its headquarters is in New York. Keith Rainier is the founder. Nancy Saltzman is the president. Awkward.
Mm-hmm.
It's based out of Albany County, New York. Former members have described it as a cult. Right.
Cults are bad, right?
They're frowned upon. Right? As soon as the word cult is introduced, it's almost like a negative viewpoint and entity has like been cast down onto the organization. Oh wait, hold on. It's pronounced Nexium.
Nexium, yeah.
But then why is there a V?
Don't question it. Just cults are weird. Really, they do what they want.
But
you got to
NXIVM. So why is it pronounced Nexium?
carry the one.
Oh yeah, 2 + 2 = 5. Hell yeah, man! Because you got to carry the one.
Carry the one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Again, this goes back to that whole this whole shit with fucking Hollywood and all this other garbage that goes on with all these people who are, allegedly elite. And it's hidden for so long, and all of a sudden now it's coming out. Can you imagine the shit that'll be coming out 10 and 20 years from now?
Oh my god.
I mean, seriously. Fuck. The cult of personality. Oh. It's hard to fathom that this shit still goes on. It truly is. But obviously there's evidence that it does, and it gets looked at the other way.
Right. No.
Fuck. It could depend on who wins. It's with the victors write the history. That is true throughout of all of the world and history itself. I mean, look, so we call it the Revolutionary War. In the UK, they call it the War of Insurrection.
That's just because they're bitter that they lost.
They are, we lost that L in 1775. Aha! That's why you have 2 L's.
Right? That's why we don't put a U in color.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Color. Flavor. Whatever.
Right? Spell your words correctly.
Yeah. Dumbasses. How? Fuckers. Queen.
Oh my god.
English. Let me drink my scotch with my pinky up.
They're so weird.
It's been a long day.
Apparently.
It's been a really long day for some reason. I'm surprised you didn't want to bring up, and I'm pretty sure the Johns Hopkins performs world's first.
I was actually just about to get to that.
Really? Okay.
No,
Go ahead.
No, you brought it up, so it's all you.
No, this is all medical garbage for you.
No, you want it. You brought it up.
I don't want it. Mine works. Thank you very much. Doesn't work cult-like, but it works well.
Does it?
Well, I think
I wouldn't know. So anyways,
back on the farm.
we digressed.
We digress. Johns Hopkins surgeons performed the most.
I thought I was talking about this.
You just told me. Okay, go. You talk.
You mad, bro?
Nope.
All right. So Johns Hopkins performs the world's first total penile transplant on a veteran wounded by an IED blast. So Johns Hopkins performed the most complex penis transplant ever in late March on a soldier who lost his genitals during a bomb blast in Afghanistan. Over the course of 14 hours, specialists transplanted a penis, a scrotum, and part of the abdominal wall from a deceased donor onto the wounded soldier. The handful of similar transplants previously performed at hospitals in Massachusetts, South Africa, and China involved only a penis. So the Hopkins doctors said the surgery appears so far to have gone smoothly and are optimistic the patient who wishes to remain anonymous will gain full function. It is our hope that such a life-changing transplant will allow him to regain urinary and sexual function and lead a normal life, said Dr. Richard Beret, a professor of plastic and reconstructive surgery at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. So doctors should know later this week if the patient is expected, when the patient is expected to be released, whether he can urinate. It will take about another 6 months, however, to see if the patient can feel any sensation and experience an erection. It takes that long for the nerves to regrow. In a statement released by Johns Hopkins, the patient said he already felt normal again. Quote, "It's really mind-boggling injury to suffer. It's not an easy one to accept," he said. "When I first woke up, I felt finally more normal with a level of confidence as well. Confidence, like finally, I'm okay now." Doctors have taken an interest in penile transplant as the number of injuries soldiers suffer at war has changed. Some soldiers who lose lower limbs from mines and IEDs also experience loss of or damage to their genitals. Injuries that the Johns Hopkins doctors said are hidden but are just as debilitating. From 2001 to 2013, about 1,367 male service members were placed on the Department of Defense Trauma Registry with so-called genitourinary injuries, which include injuries to the genitals. One of the first questions a soldier will ask when waking up from a severe injury is whether their genitals are intact, said Dr. Cameron Ritchie, a retired Army psychiatrist and author of a book about intimacy and injury. Despite this, these injuries were stigmatized and, until recently, not talked about much. Quote, "For many men, a lot of their sense of identity is also wound up in their sense of manhood," she said. Johns Hopkins doctors formed a team more than 5 years ago to study and prepare for penile transplant. Studying blood flow to the penis and practicing on cadavers. They identified the patient in 2012 and talked then about the reconstruction of the penis using skin from other parts of the body. While such a procedure is possible, wounded servicemen sometimes don't have enough good tissue to work with, and such reconstructed genitals could not achieve an erection, said Dr. W.P. Andrew Lee, a professor and director of plastic and reconstructive surgery at Johns Hopkins Medical School. The patient, who was serving in Afghanistan when he caught an IED blast that also took his legs, decided to wait for a transplant, but it took time for the doctors to perfect the procedure and to find a match. The patient has a rare blood type, and the matching process is more involved than an inner organ transplant. Doctors also had to account for factors such as age and skin tone in penis transplants, making the donor pool smaller. A team of 9 plastic surgeons and 2 urology surgeons performed the transplant. The patient still has a small part of his own penis to attach to the new organ to ensure blood flow and sensation. Surgeons also connected 3 arteries, 4 veins, and 2 nerves during the operation. The donor's testicles were not transplanted, so the patient won't be able to reproduce. Doctors said transplanting them raised ethical issues, such as whether the donor's genetic material might go to the patient's children. Quote, "We just felt there were too many unanswered ethical questions with that kind of transplant," said Dr. Damon Cooney, a Hopkins assistant professor of plastic and reconstructive surgery. The patient also was given an infusion of bone marrow from the donor, which allowed doctors to reduce the number of drugs he might have to take to keep his body from rejecting the penis to just 1 pill twice a day.
That's pretty awesome medical breakthrough.
Right?
So, obviously this is a big deal, one, and could change the lives of many, many soldiers that have this injury. But here's my question is that, you go back to the John Bobbitt thing. Do you remember that issue, that case? Okay. So how, I guess the thing would be, so he got his own penile reattached. Mm-hmm. But how much of that would lead the groundbreaking study and technique, I guess, to go forward and make this a possibility? Because that took, when you said how long it would take for recovery and whatnot, he went through a lengthy recovery process as well. I don't know if it was the same time frame, but I can imagine it was pretty close.
I'm not sure. But I know, so basically, the thing though with reattaching your own limb versus attaching not your own limb, is that it's your tissue. Right. Your body knows it. Those are your cells.
Gotcha.
So the only way that your body is going to reject it is if the blood supply stops, in which, it's just going to die. But with getting a donor limb, with the cells being a completely different DNA,
right?
That's where you worry about your body rejecting that transfer and completely deciding on its own to just reject it and causing almost like treating it as though it's a foreign object and attacking it with a bunch of white blood cells, which causes an infection and causes your own body to literally expel it. Yeah. Which, is not good and counterproductive.
Very counterproductive.
So, there's that.
No, it's a great article. And again, it goes, and it sucks that it has to be vets and stuff, but there is a lot of groundbreaking medical research that's going on, a lot of groundbreaking techniques that are happening for soldiers to live better lives.
Like one of the worst injuries I have ever seen while I was still in I honestly I have no idea how this guy lived to make it to Germany. Like I don't fucking know. So basically, I know for a fact he made it to Germany, and I know for a fact he made it to the next point of care. So we got him stable enough to where he made it back to the States. I don't know what happened to him after that. But basically what had happened is that he lost both legs above the knee. But on top of that, the explosion also kind of tore into his abdomen. Completely missed, and I don't fucking know how. Completely missed his scrotum and his penis.
That's wow.
Yes. So so when we were operating on him but then he had like burns all over him too. So operating on him in Germany, it was me and 4 teams of docs all asking for different shit at the same time, and it's just me, and I'm working with orthopedic surgeons who are dealing with his legs. I'm working with a general surgeon who is working on all the belly stuff. There's a urologist in there checking out his bladder, his ureters, his scrotum, and his penis, making sure that's all good to go. And then a trauma doc doing the burns. It was ridiculous. Again, I don't know. Like, shout out to the fucking medics downrange, whoever fucking got to him first and stabilized him on the scene and stopped the bleeding and got him to the aid station or the roll 2 or the hospital in like Kandahar or Bagram or whatever. And then, the techs there for stabilizing him there, and, shout out to those guys because, without them, he never would have made it to me in Germany.
Yep.
Like it just blows my mind that he even made it that far. But I know for a fact we got him stable and got him to the States. But like I said, like, I don't know what happened after. But yeah, no, and like I've seen these injuries where, they come to us and they're fucked up. And like I don't mean to like giggle, but like I literally like I don't know what else to do, because it's sad, like, like seeing the trauma of war and like what some of these guys have to live with after. Like one of the worst cases I've ever done was on a 21-year-old who is now a quadriplegic. We operated on him on his 21st birthday, and we had to fix his back because his Humvee got hit with an IED, which caused it to roll, and he was up in the turret, and the only reason his Humvee did not literally cut him in half is because he was wearing his fucking body armor. It broke his spine, but he was still alive, so there's that silver lining, I guess. But yeah, fucking, like, oh my god, my job sucks sometimes.
Yeah,
I love my job.
But it's again, it's the medicine has come a tremendously long way. The double arm transplant we talked about.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's
shows.
crazy.
That was an amazing piece of medical breakthrough. I mean, fuck, if doctors from, the Vietnam era or, World or Korea could see what we're doing now, holy shit.
right?
I mean, fuck. But, let me see if I can find a feel-good article here. Hold on.
Right? Oh my god, I'm gonna get all into my feels. I need to like not be in them. Dude, Friday. Oh, okay, so Friday was like a bad day for me, you guys. It was bad. Make sure to check on your buddies, you guys. That's all I'm gonna say is just check on your battles.
Always check on your battles. Oh, California exit plan. Have you seen this update?
Oh, I saw. I sent you that article. I wanted to talk about it. Ugh.
Oh my god, this is getting out of control.
Apparently, California has gotten enough votes to actually get a like secession from the union on the ballot.
That is amazing.
Like that's my home state, and I'll always have, like home state. But at the same time, they can just fucking leave.
Yeah, no, it's
go.
Advocates who want California to secede from the rest of the United States were given the green light Monday to begin collecting signatures for their initiative. California Secretary of State Alex Padilla announced the ballot proposal had been cleared. The latest measure would ask voters in 2020 to decide whether to open up a secession discussion. If passed, a second election would be held a year later, asking voters to affirm the decision and become an independent country. Advocates have until mid-October to gather 880 signatures to registered voters to get it on the ballot. God, think about that. Hello?
No, I'm here. I am.
Okay. Whew. Man, my thing started acting weird. The thing went away. I was like, oh shit, here we go again. Fuck you, Zuckerbergs. Oh, real quick, tinfoil hat time. I started talking about that article with Pocahontas, and that's when we died.
Oh, that's right.
Just saying. Just saying out there that we started talking about Pocahontas and we died. The Facebook went.
It wasn't just Facebook. It was my whole interwebs.
It was everything.
Everything died. Like everything. Ugh, it's the worst. And then I had like everyone started messaging me like, "Hey, Minx, you know that like you're no longer broadcasting?" I'm like, "I know." I'm fucking trying. I got a little crazy for a second.
Yeah.
And,
no, it was.
And by a second, it was like a couple minutes. So if I snapped at anyone, I'm really sorry. I find stressed.
I find it interesting that California is trying to do this. Wow. Let them.
Yeah.
Let it, and then we dam off the Colorado River, which feeds a lot of their water to them.
LA would die.
They have no idea what would happen if this truly went. If they became another their own nation, right? We wall them off. We create a border with California. Yeah, they don't have the resources to support a lot of their large cities without the rest of the United States.
They don't have the funds.
Well, there's
to
that too.
Support themselves. The state in and of itself is already in debt to the federal government, right? So how are they going to buy their way out of being part of the United States?
Oh, it would be Escape from LA for real in the Facebook Live comments.
Right? Seriously. And then, okay, but then Fort Irwin, Camp Pendleton, fucking Naval Air Station San Diego, Balboa, the naval hospital there.
So they have to pull them out, or they become
Travis Air Force Base.
the United States government would have to write a SOFA with whatever they become, the Republic of California, or whatever they call themselves. You'd have to write a SOFA. I mean, you'd have a no shit status of forces agreement, within 50 miles of CONUS, basically.
Right.
Does that count as an CONUS assignment at that point?
Right. Especially no, but seriously, especially Fort Irwin. Like, if you think about it, and then 29 Palms is out there too, right in the desert as well. Friggin'.
Yeah, no, it's
But then we think about California National Guard, right? And all of those bases.
yeah, well, and their dildos that they'll be whipping around, protecting themselves.
Oh, yeah, no, not the actual like National Guard.
Oh, okay, the real, okay.
Yes. Fucker.
Okay. What? Legit. I mean, come on, let's be real.
I grew up next to a National Guard base.
Okay, so some of them might be good guys, but let's be real, it's California.
Hey, rude.
Hey, it's not my fault they want to secede from the Union.
I'm saying, but I agree with you. Fucking let them.
Yeah. I find it interesting. I would like to see if they could come up with the signatures. For a measure of this magnitude, the below 400,000 threshold seems a little easy.
Yeah.
But here's the other part of this. Okay, here's the secondary and tertiary effects that way down the road that nobody's thinking about. Let's say they're successful in doing this. Let's say they do secede, right? That immediately changes the balance of power in the House of Representatives.
Oh, yes, it does. That's 47 people out.
Yeah.
That not only that, but that completely changes the balance of electoral votes.
Right. 55 electoral votes vanish. Poof. Gone.
That are normally historically blue. That they are somehow going to have to make up from historically red states.
Yep.
Or redistribute and reconfigure the electoral college.
No, you don't redistribute, or those votes are just gone because the electoral college, the amount of votes, or whatever you want to call them, from the electoral college is based up on
Population.
It's not population. Well, kind of, because they're two. You get a vote for every member representative of Congress you have. So it's 55, right? So there's 53 representatives and 2 senators from the state of California that are in the Congress. That's how you get 55.
Yeah.
So yeah, 55 electoral college votes gone. Poof. Let that shake up. So that wouldn't affect anything. Let's say it happens. They vote on it in 2020. They reaffirm the secession in 2021. They are no longer a part of the Union. That the first general election it would affect is the 2024 race. So after Trump's second term.
Dude, could you imagine? Okay, but there's that. But then also you have to think about all of the Republicans and all the conservatives and all the moderates, like the libertarians out in California, who aren't far left or who aren't even, near left. What happens to them?
They'd probably be chastised and ridiculed, and would probably be looking at the U.S. for refugee status because they would be persecuted for their beliefs.
Or do you think that they would almost write in like an amendment that they would break California into 2? And you would have the nation of California, and then the state that's still part of the union.
Right. I saw that proposal too. So here, man, it gets a little fuck. It
Right?
opens so many cans of worms that the government doesn't really want to have to deal with. Man. Fuck. Let them leave. Let them leave. Let them leave. Okay, sorry.
You done?
I'm done.
You done? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Ugh. Oh, just like that, it's time for housekeeping. You want to do the honors?
Yeah, well, boom, boom, boom. Got it. All right. Nation, time for housekeeping. As you know, we have a show almost every night of the week, starting with us tonight, myself and my lovely co-host Minx.
Wow.
Talk about current events, things affecting the nation, things affecting active duty and our veteran community. Tonight we had Guardians of the Green Beret on. Dom was with us. It was fantastic and a great cause and what they're doing. Tomorrow is our Donza, where we play video games and relax and not have a show. Thursday night is Sergeant Time with Ice and guys from the main page, and they are talking things that affect the active duty force and things that are coming up for the vet force itself. On Friday, we have Friday Night Freedom, again with Minx and Pookie, and they do some awesome stuff. Last week, was it last Friday you guys were doing that haunted thing?
Okay, so we went on the ghost hunt last Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Okay, so Saturday they did the ghost hunt and they thought they were cool. So, but Friday is Friday Night Freedom with Minx, and it's always a good time on that show.
And Pookie.
And Pookie, and they talk about some crazy stuff. Saturday is Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie, and that's a little. Just listen to that show, Nation, and you'll understand. And we'll leave it at that for this week.
Right,
Sunday,
just listen to it.
Listen to it. It gets out there. Time traveling guy. Sunday is Kicking It with Kaz and Owl. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Kicking It with Kaz and Owl on Sunday nights. I still have not gotten a chance to listen to the show, but it's probably like all our shows and awesome. And they're probably covering some current events and whatnot. And then we roll into Monday night with the Monday edition with Ice and Flash. And they're always covering current events, and it's usually hot stuff that hits over the weekend that Ice is fired up about. So always tune into that because you'll get a fresh take and a fresh perspective on everything that's affecting the nation as a whole. And then right back to us for Tuesdays. Upcoming guests. Our next guest is Saturday, April 28th, Dave Chapman. Dave was born in South Carolina. Huh? Oh, Champion. Sorry. Champion. Yes. I need to read much gooder.
Right? Read gooder.
Gooder. Well, California threw me off. That's what it was. Dave was born in Southern California and was a wild teenager during the sex, drugs, and rock and roll days of the late 70s. But Dave embarked in an entirely different direction when he joined the U.S. Army and became an airborne ranger. After leaving the Army, Dave returned to Southern California and engaged in a number of careers, including law enforcement, the corporate world, and high-tech industry, business owner, legal consultant, and more. Dave is also a public speaker and teacher, having given speeches on numerous subjects, including the income tax, the right to keep and bear arms, the 14th and 16th Amendments. Dave has been a frequent guest on radio shows around the country discussing topics such as economics, political theory, America's future, and more. So join us on Saturday for Dave Champion. 30 April, Monday, Chad Garland. Chad Garland is covers Afghanistan for Stars and Stripes, veteran of the Marine Corps. Has reported on business, politics, justice, and national security for newspapers in California and newswires in Oregon and D.C. prior to joining the Stars and Stripes. Chad holds degrees from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, that's their main campus, and Arizona State University. That'll be a good show. And then rolling into Tuesday, we have Jessica Scott on us, who's an Iraq War veteran, active duty Army officer, and USA Today best-selling author. of novels set in the heart of America's Army.
Is that May 1st?
That is May 1st.
Nice.
May Day.
Hell yeah, it's Beltane.
Woohoo! Mother, 2 daughters, 3 cats, and a couple dogs. Wow, she's got a full life.
Wait, does she have a horse and or goats?
Not in our description, but I'm sure that'll get asked on Tuesday. If not by us, by Spanky.
Make a note.
She's written for the New York Times, At War blog, PBS Point of View regarding the war, and IAVA. She deployed to Iraq in 2009 as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, New Dawn, and has the honor of serving as a company commander at Fort Hood, Texas, twice. So that'd be a really good. Interview. I'm looking forward to that one. And Nation, that's our lineup for the next week. Oh yeah, for the next week. Thanks.
Oh, really quickly, did you see the fucking hullabaloo that Yeti caused?
Oh my God, yes.
Talk about not knowing who the fuck your customers are.
It's a very, very interesting issue that's happened right now, because it's a he said, she said. But again, in the age of the 24-hour news cycle and the age of information's always available, and the stories that are out there, it's who can get the information out first usually wins the battle, unfortunately.
Well, no, but Yeti came out with a statement saying that they are not supporting the Second Amendment, or want to reform or do something. They're not for supporting the Second Amendment. Who buys Yeti coolers? Hunters. Who buys Yeti products? Hunters. Rednecks. Fucking country motherfuckers. What do all those fuckers have in common? Strong Second Amendment beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck?
Well,
how the fuck do you come out and say, oh yeah, fuck the Second Amendment, when your biggest customer is a hunter?
Because you don't know your business model.
Hello.
It's just unreal sometimes. The thought process behind some of these people is just unreal.
But yeah, so that's our show.
That's our show.
That was the one thing that I've been meaning to talk about a little bit and be like, I have questions.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll get expanded upon on Thursday.
Right? Oh God. Right? And especially, there's another article. So apparently the Army is ditching a couple mandatory training.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's it's 350-1 training.
It is, what is it? It's TRIPS, media awareness training, and combat trafficking in persons training. Which again, I'm sure ICE will be going over on Thursday.
I'm sure he will be.
But yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Jack.
But yeah, that's our show, everyone. So thanks for tuning in, and we wish you a great rest of your week. And have an awesome night. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
Shots.
Here, take this photograph, tell me what it is you see when you look at me. Deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you, because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain, and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? While I make it home alive, should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I
don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Get peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betrayed me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.